Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Straight Line podcast. My name is 𝙎𝙆𝙎𝙀, and today a few topics of discussion. East Side Crits Team Time Trial Edition, they happened last Sunday, 8th of October, Lord's U. This upcoming weekend's races in and around the greater Johannesburg area. We've got a race out in 𝙎𝙬𝘽 in the Free State, and then on Sunday we've got a race out in Heidelberg going through 𝙎𝙬𝘽𝙎 Nature Reserve. But yeah, let's first start off with East Side Crits Team Time Trial Edition. This was the second run at it. I ran one there 4 or 5 weeks ago. And on the day, Team Honeycomb had the goods and they managed to come up with the fastest time on 20 minutes 49 seconds. Then this weekend, we had a pretty stacked lineup. The guys, the weather conditions were good. It was a good sunny day. Ended up getting a bit warm, but be that as it may, the guys and girls definitely upped all of their games, and the times were a fair bit quicker around there. For the A category, that was taken out by Team DMS, Gustav Basson, Kent, Main, David Maria, and Jose Kleinsmith. The four of those guys managed to roll around the 5 laps in a time of 20 minutes 19 seconds, which has now set a new record there, taking 30 seconds off Honeycomb's previous time. Then next up, we had Team TEG Pro Cycling. They rolled in at a time of 20:58. Brandon Downs, 𝙎𝙐𝘽𝙎𝘆 van Rensburg, 𝙎𝙐𝘽𝙎 Steenkamp, and Blaine Kick. Third up, we had Tufo BMC, Eric Cross, Chris Jooste, Jacques Marais, and Kimon van der Merwe. Now, just little bits and pieces that I saw from the side of the track. DMS were down to 2 laps in, so the remaining 3 riders had massive big turns. Speaking to some of the guys were saying that, yeah, Kent was the man on the day. I think an event like that will suit him. He's got many years of experience, many years of miles in his legs. And yeah, he seems to be in good form, which is a good thing. 94.7 is 6 weeks away. A couple of big races in between. So hopefully he can pull off a solid result somewhere along the line there. Team TG, they also seem to be down to 3 riders, also 2 or 3 laps in. They did also a good time. At the time of 20:58, that would have placed them at third position in the last event. So on the scoreboard, they've got the 4th quickest time of the teams that have ridden there. Tufo BMC, they were quite a decent improvement from their previous time. The boys seemed to ride smoothly together. Yeah, and they rolled in at a time of 21 minutes and 11 seconds. Next up, your B category. This result is flipping close. Team Nessa, Massimo Guglielmi and his wife Elaine, they're heading up that team there. And they entered 2 teams into this division. They had the Nessa Africa Juniors and the Nessa Africa Mastermen. The juniors consisted Ethan Weisner, Matthew Sim, Matteo Kazul, Vian Nivot, Nessa Masters men, Massimo Guglielmi, Egon Campbell, Carl Latta, and Daniel Funacchio. Now, the time between the 2 riders, listen to this. The junior men rolled in at a time of 22:33.95, and the master men 22:34.25. So that means between those 2 there was 0.3 of a second. Now, that I'm sure the master boys are probably sitting back. Oh, we could have gone a little bit quicker through the corner. We could have finished a little bit stronger. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make here is a team time trial is a very skill-specific event. It's not just a case of chuck a few guys together and go and roll around and expect to get a good time. Of course you can do that and you will ride a solid time. If you want to win and you want to be competitive, you need to go in with a definite plan. You need to know the circuit. You need to know how you are going to tackle it as a unit, meaning horses for courses. You're going to use certain riders in certain part of the course and get the best out of them. Next up was Premier Logistics. They ran a time of 22:51. That team you're looking at, Johan van Rooyen, Daniel Rodriguez, Ethan Loos, and Dion van Vieren. Now, yeah, that's a pretty solid time. Just 17 seconds behind Nessa. I mean, you got guys like Jan van Rooyen, Daniel. You know, those guys, proven time trialists, proven guys with the engines. It was nice to see them. Nice thing I liked about this, I've just touched on the A category here and the B category, essentially the Masters, is that I hope these guys are taking note and these guys are listening, and I hope other teams that are out there that are listening to this, that next year, Cycling South Africa has announced that there will be a Criterium South African Championships and a Team Time Trial South African Championships. Now, I hope that the clubs out there, the teams together, provincial teams can get themselves together, start working on a plan. And, you know, it's, like I said just now, a team time trial it's quite a technical event. It's not a case of just chuck everyone together and there you go and ride and, you know, good luck. It's, you know, there's a lot more involved to it. Next up, we're looking at the ladies. Team Customized Pertec, they won the ladies section. Millie Kritzinger, Lucy Young, Carmen Lackmeyer, and Stacey Paul. They rolled in a time of 25:46. Next up behind them, you had a Masters Lady combination team, Forster Femme. They consisted of Michelle Andrews, Kerry Lee, Annette Coetzee, and Elisa Giancino. Like I said, their time was 26:47. And another thing that's very cool for me, the third team was also Masters Lady combination team, Team Wolfpack. Justin Barson, Rode de Wet, Cassandra Slingerland, and Aurelia Edwards. From Eastside Crit side, I've been trying to promote lady cycling and spark the gears and spark the interest. I'm sure you guys have heard me say it before, and I've sent invitations to all junior ladies teams, to elite and junior ladies teams and masters teams, and I'm really happy to see that the master ladies are, you know, taking interest in this and preparing themselves. I saw that Wolfpack, all of the ladies rolled in there, all had the same jerseys. I think that's very cool, and hopefully with an initiative like this, with the criterium and the team time trials, we can, you know, always, you know, the way I always say it, promote the sport of bike racing. I'd really like to see a lot of ladies, and I think if I remember seeing correctly on the start line, we had 5 or 6 ladies teams for the team time trial. That's very, 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 very cool, and I look forward to doing more, and I look forward to see more of you ladies out there. Next up, we had the individual time trial. Now, these riders did the same as the riders in the team time trial, 5 laps of the 3.2 kilometer circuit. The overall there were 9 riders entered in this category. The quickest time went out to Ruan Smith, rider. He rides for Team Full Gas in a time of 23:35. Another very cool thing that I saw in this category was that there were 3 young boys. When I say young boys, on the video, I think the youngest was 8 years old and the oldest was 10 years old. So you got youngsters getting involved in this. And I think, you know, I'd extend invitation out to parents. If you want to get your children, your young kids, teenagers involved in road cycling and road bike racing, this is a brilliant place for them to do that. Unfortunately, a lot of the mass participation events don't really cater for young riders. You know, you generally have a 100-kilometer fun ride and then a shorter distance. So that varies between 50 and 70 kilometers. And a large majority of the time, the under 11s and the 13s and the 15s, there isn't nothing for them. So the kids have to go and ride with mom or dad or ooms or tannies or on the club ride. So I think an environment like this is a great place for youngsters to come race and compete against their peers. You know, as a youngster, I'm sure, you know, you want to compare yourself to someone who's your own age, your own size, make a good race of it. You know, not necessarily going with your or your tanny or your uncle to a mass participation event where you don't really get to race too much in kids your own age. Yes, so, you know, I said it last week on little video footage that I put out, that next year is South African team and Criterium Road Time Trial Champ. So all the youngsters up here in Gauteng, parents of the riders up here in Gauteng, I hope to see you at your criteriums that I'll be running on a regular basis, and also team time trials at a regular basis. I feel these are very important skills that young riders need to have, and as a parent, your kids will ride in a safe, controlled environment. And not out there on the roads. You'll be able to see them you see them come past on a number of times. But next up in the points of discussion today, this upcoming weekend's road races. Saturday, the Free State Classic held out in Welkom. Now, it's not too much known about this race. All I do know, what I can read, is that it seems like it's going to be a lap race. I think it's 32 or 34 kilometers, which is pretty cool. As a rider and a team, you get to see the finish line on a regular basis. So you get to plan either your final take towards the end, or you get to plan your sprint. Look out for your markers, look out for the wind. Also, with it being a lap race, you get to ride a circuit a few times, and generally on lap one, I hope the riders will be making notes. Where are your points of interest on that circuit? Where can you put the race under pressure? Welkom is not known for its massive mountain passes. It's a typically flat area, a few rolling hills, a few couple of lumps, but certainly no mountains. But the one thing that I do remember of racing in Welkom 20 odd years ago, that the wind always blows in Welkom. So if you're racing a circuit race, it's pretty flat, maybe a little bump here and there, and there's wind. If you can get your team together and use everyone's strength properly, you can force splits and you can split the race up. And if you use your team properly, you will have the majority of the riders in the break. And then from there, you can either try and play for the sprint, or you can try and force splits. But wind blows, always gut action. Then on Sunday is the Meals on Wheels race, held out in Heidelberg. The race will start from Heidelberg and then head out in the direction towards Vereniging 𝙎𝙬𝙀. For those who know that area, you will go towards Vereniging, take a right, go past the aerials, and then from there head into 𝙎𝙬𝙎𝙀 Nature Reserve. Now the riders will be entering 𝙎𝙬𝙎𝙀 on the 𝙎𝙬𝙎𝙀 gate, which has been closed for quite a while, but from what I understand, they're going to be opening up the gate for the race. It's in the Nature Reserve. It's a great place to race. Very hard, lots of climbs. The descents, if you don't know the area, can be a little bit tricky. So for the riders going in there, just be aware. I'm sure your team managers meetings, and even hopefully on the race day, they will just also remind you, take it easy on those descents. You guys have been caught up there in the past, and guys have hurt themselves. Hopefully keep yourselves together on Sunday. Now, the riders that you would expect to be the protagonists going through a place like 𝙎𝙬𝙎𝙀 Nature Reserve. Look at Team Honeycomb. You've got the likes of Jason Eggert. He a good climber. I think it's that type of terrain is something that he should be hoping and praying for almost on a daily basis, where he can go and race. Suits him down to the ground. Team TEG, you're looking at 𝙎𝙬𝙎𝙀 van Rensburg, Brandon Downs. I think it's a little bit too tough for Blaine Kick, but maybe Blaine, let's see if you can prove me wrong and do something and be up there in the races. But for now, I would say definitely Jacques, definitely Blaine's going to be in it. Then you go down to your Team DMS. I think the climbs are hard, but not too hard for a guy like Gustav Passon. I expect him to be up there. Kent Main definitely be up there. David Maria has proven lately that he's there's still a lot of fight left in the old dog. Sorry, David, I mean to be funny. He was good at SA Omnium Champs. He ended up taking the win there. So hopefully, he'll be up for it on Sunday. Then you look at a team like Tufo BMC. Eric Cross should be up there. A guy like Chris Jooste will be up there. And as always, I say it every time, Chris Jooste is a kind of guy, never say die kind of guy. If you can get over the climbs in a good position, expect him to light it up on the way out and back towards Heidelberg. Strong rider, good condition. I expect him to be definitely right up in that mix. Next up, you're looking at a team like Office Guru. I hope that Ivan and the rest of his guys are putting in some good work so they can hang on and go through the climbs, even try and force a break before the climbs and go into the reserve with a little bit of a time buffer, so when the faster guys do come across them, they can be up there in the action. Another team that's going to be racing is Team ACDC Luso. You've got your likes of Josh Dyke, Brendan Havenga. Also I think the type of guys that we're trying to look for a split going into the reserve, try and get a little bit of a head start on the out and out climbers. But yeah, those guys are in good condition. Look, the weather forecast for Sunday, it seems to be a bit cloudy. Hopefully the rain stays away, but same thing as what I said now about Wadvalkom. You can bet your bottom dollar the wind's going to blow out there in the south. Always windy, always gutters. Going through the nature reserve, there's enough wind there. The terrain's hard enough to split the race up. So, in short, on Saturday in Welkom, I expect some kind of a bunch sprint or a group sprint. Then you got your sprinters, the Gustav Bassons of the world, your Blaine Kicks of the world, your Jaden Toulouse of the world, and then also your Team Alawani, your Reynard Butler, your Nolan Hoffmans. I think those are going to be I anticipate those guys will be on the podium for Saturday. Then going on to Sunday, the Meals on Wheels race. There it's going to be the other way around. There I'm looking at your Kent Mains, your Brandon Downses, your Jaco van Dijks, your Jason Eggerts, Chris Jooste, maybe Eric Cross. Hopefully you can get out through reserve. So it's very, very different type of riders going to the finish as opposed to Saturday. But yeah, that's enough from me today. Hope you guys enjoy the weekend's racing. And if you aren't racing, go out and ride your bike and have fun out there. Expect a little bit of win. Anyway, catch you later. Ciao. Bye.